So today we are going to start with the topic that I coin it as AI machine learning can no longer be ignored. Please get involved. So this is a message to everybody out there. We might not fully understand the power of artificial intelligence, machine learning. There's the pros and the cons. There's the fear, and then of course there is the prospect. However, for every technology, it comes with its own positive and negative side. However, to ignore a technology totally is going to be it's very risky and detrimental to the community doing such. So we have to embrace it and then see how we can mitigate and try to prevent the negative aspect of it. Every system has both positive and negative. So, however, to outrightly ignore such technology, especially what is being called the one of the real technology for the fourth industrial revolution, it's very, very much risky and dangerous to ignore it. The handwritten on the wall is very clear. From the educational sector, industrial sector, so many. So we're going to have a very short discussion on this, and then we again remind of some of the facilities that we set in place as our only way of giving back to the community in our weekly machine learning classes, where we teach ourselves some of the material that are available for us to be able to take benefit, and how we can get involved. Sometimes for those people who are just coming, they think, oh, it's so tough, I don't know it. No, we try as much as possible to simplify it. And that's one of the principles of this setting is machine learning for all. I always believe that everybody can actually benefit from the power of AI and machine learning, even if you don't know coding. Sometimes we do organize a kind of summer school and we call it Codeless AI, where you can build and deploy your AI model without writing a single code. We started this idea a couple of years ago, and today it's getting very popular. Recently, I remember one of the top universities in the US recently started advertising for codeless AI, that is building AI model without writing any code. So this is to show that everybody can be carried along, as the case may be. Of course, that doesn't mean for those who know how to program already, that is a very big plus for you. Then you have a lot of leverages you can be able to deploy across what you need. So moving into why you can no longer ignore AI ML, like I said, we've already had very lengthy weeks discussing different applications of AI and machine learning. In fact, shortly before the break, we discussed on how we can utilize AI and machine learning to be able to support agriculture. We had almost 3 or 4 weeks deliberation on this. And after that, we set up a research group. So for people who might be interested in working on machine learning in agriculture to boost crop production, which is one of the challenges the world is facing, so that we have so much lands and other means of generating, but then how can we use AI to leverage it? Now, why you can no longer ignore AI, just a little summary. We say the power that is inherent in data set and its ease of generation. See, data set is being generated at a very huge rate that nobody ever expected it. As you are sitting there, if you have a laptop, you have your mobile, some people also have wristwatches that also generate data. Once any of your gadget is online, they are connected, they are generating packets of data every seconds, minutes, hour. Just imagine. That's why today we're talking of big data, because the rate of data is being generated is just on the high side. So the power of historical data sets. So if we're able to utilize this data, also historical data sets that are often in the whole, we consider them as useless. What is data? Just ignore them. we can no longer ignore them. When you look at the power that this historical data can bring on the table, either you are a company, university, schools, where are private practices, this data set can make a big difference between a successful company and a company that might get out of business if care is not taken. When you look at the unique capability, when you look at the unique capability of AI or ML in utilizing these once considered useless artifacts in a super beneficial way. See, in the past, some of this data set, they just litter away. No one cares about them. People think, what we do with it? It's so useless. No. But today, with AI, machine learning, and data science, they're able to they're converting this to huge opportunities. To the extent that some people are saying now that the next oil is actually data, that people will fight over it. Who has the best data utilization will take the day. And it's already happening that if you're able to get the data analyzed, then you can take informed decisions as at when due, which can give you advantage over your competitors. This is everywhere already. See, shopping malls, monitoring what you purchase, sending you advertisement based on what you purchase. When you are traveling, the Google map we are using is selling your data to people that knows where you are. Promotional sale will be sent to you immediately so that they can take advantage of your closeness to that particular shopping mall at that point in time, or their branches. So things that were in the past looks impossible. So most business analysts agree that managers can no longer ignore artificial intelligence or machine learning application and software. That is a fact. Ignore it at your own peril. That is the call. Not only is AI machine learning becoming prominent for superior capability in the office culture, but AI is also helping managers become better leaders. So leaders who can take informed decision at the click of a mouse. You can have an idea of what is likely going to be the sale forecast. You can have an idea of how many number of customers is likely going to visit your branches so that you can reallocate the number of sales officers that are going to be in those branches on daily basis. So rather than having a brand that is having lesser number of salesmen, in which case there will be a lot of complaint and then you might likely lose your customer. Customer shun prevention. You want to prevent your customer from running away from your company. How do you do that? You need analytic knowledge ahead of time so that you don't wait for them to complain. By the time they complain, it might be too late. You look into their data set, their purchasing plan, pattern, and then see that, oh, something might be wrong. This customer care is not taken. In the past, people like this, we lost them. So we don't want to lose this one. These are made possible by AI, data analytics, all that are related to them. We said AI and machine learning tools are essential for achieving and maintaining progressive organization because they can respond to business changes instantly. Immediately it happens. Because 1 second could be very costly. That's why we say in big data analytics, it is data in stream. It is a moving data. As it is coming, decisions are being taken based on them. And that is where machine learning had an advantage over statistical method, because data analytics is not very new in its own sense, but used to be done using the statistical method, which has a disadvantage of having to get the data frozen. You have to first of all freeze the data, store it before you can use statistical method on them. However, with machine learning has that capability of processing the data while it is moving. This is a unique capability that machine learning has brought on the board. And that's why when you are describing big data, we talk of velocity. Hopefully we'll have the opportunity to discuss this in detail later. What is big data? How does it affect the analytics we can do? So one of the characteristics of big data is velocity, and that is that the data is in motion. And when it is in motion, it's not all systems that can model it, that can work with it. So machine learning has that particular unique capability. Therefore, Any change is instantly detected, thereby helping business owners and managers to make better decisions based on real-time insights. And furthermore, the industrial and educational utilization of benefit cannot be overemphasized. There's so many benefits that the educational field, the industrial sector, just mention anyone, except they're not aware of it. So they just need to have a consultant to guide them on how they can take advantage of them, how they can take benefit of this. And then the next thing is they see their business prospects greatly improved, and etc., etc. So many things we can look into. So we can refer back to our earlier videos on the applications of artificial intelligence and machine learning in different fields in more details. However, so having said this, it's an area that we can no longer ignore. So we set out that, okay, so it's an opportunity for us also to reach out to our people, to also support people in being able to take advantage of this kind of technology positively, because I've always said, my own principle is what I call ethical and responsible artificial intelligence. This is what I promote. And this also I encourage each and every one of us to promote. So in AI and machine learning and their utilization, the principle, you cannot just allow everything to be done. It's not everything that is doable that you need to do. Some should not be done at this present time because of the huge negative consequence of it. So that is why there has to be data governance, machine learning and AI governance, where government will have to agree some area, no-go area, not to be implemented at this point in time because of the surge in the sudden effect that it may have negatively on the community. So, however, to totally ignore it is a no, it's not an answer, it's not an option. So we have to get involved responsibly and ethically to encourage people to utilize it in a way that will add value to our community and the society. Now, and summarily, so how is it done, especially for the sake of those people who are totally new? When you want to build machine learning model, it's one of the very unique aspect of AI. So hopefully we are going to differentiate between AI and machine learning. Some people get confused. See, machine learning is a subfield of AI, but that has distinguished itself to be more than just a subfield, because other subfield of AI, they now need machine learning to make their work even better. Like robotics is one of the aspects of AI. If you want a very superior robot now, you need to incorporate AI. Natural language processing, NLP, has been a very old subfield of AI before we start airing machine learning. But with the coming of machine learning has changed the way NLP used to be. And that's why we started airing of ChatGPT, the generational AI. So whenever you had machine learning tool, it improves its capability to an unimaginable dimension. So, and how does it work? This is just the entire summary of this very interesting field, machine learning. So it deals with data. It's a principle of let the data speak. So the data will determine how far you can go and what you can do with it. So you get your data. Once you get your data, so you pre-process the data. What amount of pre-processing is necessary? We have actually answered that question in the past, one of our past video. What amount of pre-processing is necessary? That was the topic of that presentation day. So we can check it out. So you don't need to do so many places because there are a lot of pre-processing. Some of them are not necessary. So do the basic one that are necessary. Once your data can be loaded into your machine learning platform, then go ahead and then do the modeling. See, feature engineering and pre-processing, they can go hand in hand. That is feature engineering. Sometimes you might have to combine our feature. Some features are not very useful. Can we combine two features? Can we generate a new feature from another feature? So PCA, principal component analysis, may be used also to do the manipulation, transformation of our features. These are all optional, actually. It's always good to let the data speak. Use the raw data as much as possible. Once you can load it into the machine learning platform, then don't worry, let the data speak. So once you use your algorithm, you have to select the algorithm. So which algorithm to use also depend on the problem you are solving. So which algorithm to use depend on the problem you are solving. So put your data in. Let's say we are using k-nearest neighbor. So okay, once you are there, check the performance. You move forward, check the performance. Because you always, that's why you don't need to spend too much time on the pre-processing. Once the data can go in, let's see what the data is. Sometimes the raw data set could perform better than you ever expected. So don't waste your time there. So let the data speak. Sometimes you see that, okay, check the performance. You can always go back. You can see here, there's a feedback opportunity. So you can go back to A. So the performance is not good. Okay, go and do hyperparameter optimization. Hyperparameter optimization, very, very important. So you start changing the hyperparameters of the algorithm you are using. And then if it is not yet okay, keep going back, keep changing it and monitoring it. Sometimes you might need to go back and change the algorithm after you have exhausted all the hyperparameters. Yet it doesn't work. Then you might change the algorithm because there's no single algorithm that works in all situations. Oh, anybody that tells you the best algorithm is this, he doesn't understand machine learning concept or is confused. There's no algorithm that is best in all situations. No. You've seen an algorithm, it can work for 100 problem solving and get maybe achieving excellent result. You bring a very simple data set, it failed. See, so you have to keep checking the algorithm to see, okay, which one is going to work in this case. That is why I personally work with this principle, let the data speak. So yeah, it's a real life principle of working with machine learning and data science. Let the data speak. So always remember that. So then you can then go back here, check, change the algorithm, maybe to decision tree, then do the hyperparameter optimization again, until you are able to get what you are looking for. If you don't get what you are looking for after testing checking all possible algorithm you can use, then you might have to go back to the data. But don't forget, there's something we call ensemble. We will also talk about that, and we will be talking about it again soon, because based on some question and feedback that we're getting to clarify some points, inshallah. So in that case, ensemble means you might need to mix up some algorithm in a cocktail preparation. See, you mix them together, you train like multiple algorithms, then combine their result to take a joint decision. These have always been one of the best ways to actually achieve better result. So it is when all these failed, even after building ensemble, you couldn't get anything, then you might have to go back. You might have to go back to say, okay, maybe I need to do feature engineering. Maybe the features are really bad. Sometimes you might have to go back actually to the data preparation. Maybe the data gathered were not correct. You are using a wrong data set for a wrong problem. So you might have to go to the beginning all along, and then, so it's a circle, which is a very good opportunity. So that's why, like I said, you can always, you keep going in a circle, keep going until you achieve your aim and the success is achieved. So this is just the kind of a summary way by which we deal with building machine learning models for any problem we want to solve. The first thing is data must be available. The data is available, then we move on to see, okay, which algorithm can we use? Use the appropriate algorithm and check if it works. After that, we do the hyperparameter optimization. If it's not working, we keep changing the algorithm. After that, we can even try ensemble modeling, whereby we use different algorithms to build different models, and then we can combine the result of that model. That is the power of of a group, the power of group. When you think together as a group, you get a better result. Exactly, it has been demonstrated in machine learning also that yes, you can get better result when you combine, we call them committee machines or committee of models. So they get better result than an individual model. So in fact, as we've demonstrated in our previous videos, you can have 70%, 80%, 70% from this individual model. When you combine them together, you can get 100%. It has been a system that can guarantee you that you always get better result than individual model, and that is Ensemble. So several videos have been prepared on this in our platform. We can check them out. And while watching some of those videos, we can note down any question we might actually run into. So we can take note of that. Otherwise, then we can then move back to the, if nothing works after even doing the Ensemble, then we can go back to feature engineering, then data preparation, and then the cycle continue until we are able to achieve the best that is possible to be achieved. So in essence, the principle of let the data speak should always guide us, should always be our guide in whatever, whenever we are doing the modeling, and then we work towards getting the best possible outcome. Note that sometimes the data is so simple, straightforward, you get it at once. In other cases, it might not be as simple as that. And finally, so again, they guide us briefly on how you can go about it, especially for the new one. So now that you are here, then what do? Check out some of those materials. These are some of the summarized steps on getting started with machine learning modeling, if you are new totally. So like I was saying, so identify your area of interest first, it's very important. So look for free online data set to start with. So data set should not be an issue for you because getting the real life data set might be challenging at the beginning. And then build your first machine learning model using the online data set. Lots so many online data sets. Our admin also will help us post. There are so many online data sets we posted for us. Check it out, see how far it can work with what you want to do. Check out and see how far it can work with what you want to do. And then after that, you have to do the hyperparameter optimization. It's very important. So do the hyperparameter optimization. Do the hyperparameter optimization. So, and then select the best algorithm. This goes hand in hand. This goes hand in hand. So as you are selecting the hyperparameter for each model, if it doesn't work, then you go to another algorithm until you get what you are looking for. Then analyze and discuss your results. So sometimes then document your experiment outcome and then findings. Disseminate your results in case of interesting findings or improvement. If you're able to achieve improvement, the fact that you have used online data set does not mean that it is substandard work. No, you can still disseminate it, especially something unique about machine learning and data science work is either you are academic or you're not academic. You have to document whatever you are doing. It's part of it. That's why some of the programming-based platform like Python and the like, we have what we call Notebook. One of the platform there is Notebook. Notebook is like a note. As you are running a line of code, you are explaining what you are doing there, what you are achieving. So as you are running, you are documenting. So documentation is very, very important in machine learning data science system. So you cannot just, okay, I'm working with my code. No, you have to know how to document because your model is what you document for people to see. For example, after running your model, you have to put in the hyperparameter that you have identified. So what are those hyperparameters? This is what other people will take from your book online, from an online site, or from your published paper. They will just take the hyperparameter and then open any machine learning platform they have access to. And they will select the algorithm and they will include that hyperparameter that you have used. And then put in your data set, they will achieve the same result. So that is why documentation is very important. It's not just writing the code. They might not have access to your code. Even when they have access to your code, they might not understand how you wrote it or you did it. So that is why documentation is part of the machine learning and data science system. You just have to document. If you like, you publish it. You like, you don't publish it, but you provide it. That's why you see some people, everybody, you have your own online shared document where any AI machine learning system you build, you document it, you can share it with people to use. That is the importance of documentation in this sense. And once you document it for the researcher, they understand it better. So they want to publish their work. You can publish paper from your online data set. That is very much, in fact, a lot of work has been published using online data set. The fact that it is online doesn't make it substandard. It depends on the kind of work that you have put into it. So once you are done with that, then we'll move to the next stage, which is now based on the experience from the online data set, you try to gather new data set related to this area of interest. So now, because you want the data to be related to the community you are modeling or to the industry, the particular company you are working for now. Yeah, because the online data set is general. Now, or data set for another country, you have just used it to demonstrate what we call proof of concept, that this idea can work. Now it works for the online data set. It is time for you to bring it down home to the community you want to really model. Then get the data from there. Sometimes getting the data could be very challenging. It's one of the areas that need to be looked into in several countries. So data availability is not there. There is data, but they're not documented. They're not documenting it in the proper way. So you have to look into that. Sometimes you might have to develop questionnaire to get your data. So in the past, people get stuck looking for data for 2 years. No. Once you don't get the data, be smart enough, develop your questionnaire, go into interview mode. You can get data from interview, and people have used it and got very excellent result. So speak to people that are concerned, and then you can use with Google Form. Now you can get your data from any part of the world or any part of the community you are targeting, and then you can do the new modeling using the data that you have just obtained. Again, as usual, you have to pass through all the procedure like before: hyperparameter optimization, selecting the appropriate algorithm, analyze, document, and then disseminate your findings. So one area that I'm going to just mention briefly, later on in future, hopefully we have opportunity of looking into that, inshallah, is the area of using heterogeneous data sets or a pre-trained system. So whereby the online training you have done, because sometimes you have lot of data set from online, and then you have very few from the community you want. Is it possible for us to actually use the trained model from the online data set to now extrapolate to predict for the new community we are? So it depends on the kind of data set. Of recent, we've started seeing good result from this kind of attempt, but not very easy, but it's getting possible based on the kind of ideas and that kind of new kind of techniques that people were trying to come up with to be able to make it possible that, okay, a system that has been pre-trained, can we actually use it to model and then predict on data from a particular community? Is it going to work? We have to have the data and check out if it's going to work. Always let the data speak. It's not something that somebody can make a guess. We just have to check it out, practicalize it, demonstrate it, and then see if it is possible. So I believe this is a kind of summary of the journey, especially for those that are new and also people that are here. Let's start doing something on how you can use machine learning to actually analyze your data, get insightful information from it, and then disseminate for people to take benefit. Thank you all for listening and for being here, and also you tell others about this opportunity. So a lot of people after we have spent a couple of years now together, so they get so worried that, oh, I didn't know this kind of thing is going on. So please do benefit others so that we don't know whom we might inform, and he may also take advantage. And then you get reward for assisting a fellow human being. Thank you very much all.